Today's episode of DRL is brought to you by Hella Cocktail Company. My guests don't just come to DRL for me. They also come for the cocktails. Luckily, my friends at Hella Cocktail Company have my back. These guys make amazing mixes, from Bloody Mary to Margarita to Moscow Mule. They also make cocktail bitters, my secret ingredient, and now yours too. It's easy to feel like the best bartender in town when every bottle comes with a simple recipe on it. Hella Cocktail Company, bold flavor, real ingredients, hospitality. Mixing it up since 2011. Shop the collection on Amazon Prime or use code DRL online at hellacocktail.co for free shipping. Hello, my lovely listeners. Welcome back to another episode of DRL, where we're talking everything dating, relationships, and love. I'm your host, Tanisha Wood. Tonight, I got Essence with me. I love your name, Essence.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Essence lives in Brooklyn.
Yeah, I do.
And Essence had the funniest show. It was called 12 Years of Single.
Yes.
So she's going to talk about, being single and dating in Brooklyn tonight.
Yeah, 12 years. I guess we can expand.
Have you been really single for 12 years?
Yes, I was really.
Oh my God.
Like, it was funny.
I just thought that made
real time.
I just thought that made a good title. I didn't know that was
did
facts.
Make a big title. That's the best part of comedy because it's very sad when you're alone in the house, but when you talk about it with other people, it's hilarious.
Okay, yeah, I didn't even know that. Why have you been single for 12 years? I'm not saying that as but why have you? It's just, what's been going on?
A lot of things went on, and I use the term single, as I said in my show, is not, oh, you my boyfriend, and it's just you. So I haven't been exclusive with someone. Mm-hmm. Time just kind of flew by. And I kind of was in a period where I was going back and forth with someone and dating someone else in between going back and forth with them. So this is when I lived in Maryland. So I moved from Greensboro. I went to college. I moved to Maryland. I dated a lot of random people. Mm-hmm. And in the midst of dating those random people, it was like that little glimmer in the back of maybe it'll work out with this person, but it did not.
Do you want a committed monogamous relationship?
In the end, that's the end goal. Right now, I do. And sometimes I'm like, I'm not sure. So that's why I feel like I don't think I'm putting out the energy that I'm ready, I'm serious, because I enjoy the perks. Not necessarily the work.
So, okay, what do you enjoy about being single? What are the perks of singleness?
Being single, I don't have to share my food or my bed.
Do you not share food?
You have to be aggressive. I'm
really?
Not going to offer food. If I have enough, or that offer where you I'm going to offer, but please say no.
Right.
But yeah, but I have a girlfriend. She's just oh, give me peace. So she's aggressive. So she's just going to put her fingers in there.
But if you're with somebody, you guys are dating, mm-hmm. right? Maybe not exclusively, but just dating. You don't just offer up the food?
I'm going to have to put my dating hat on and be I should be nice and offer food. Also, listen, remember, I am technically an only child, right?
Okay.
So there's a lot of point in my life where I didn't have to, and I was telling my girlfriend, I didn't have to learn how to bounce back. You know how siblings fight? Do you have siblings? Siblings fight. Right. And then it's you stink. I'm going to punch you in the face. And then 5 minutes later, you're playing together.
Well, yes and no. My sibling is so much younger than me that okay. actually never happened.
Okay,
so I understand what you mean about you're not used to being we're friends again 5 minutes later.
Right, it's bouncing back. It's I'm going to need you to go home. And I'm going to process this. And maybe we'll still be friends Tuesday. So I don't necessarily have that bounce back thing. I've been working on it. A lot of self-reflection. I feel like we digress. I don't even know.
You're saying when you're dating, if somebody pisses you off or does something that is not to your liking, you're not necessarily the type to be okay, well, let's resolve this. You're I'm not playing with you at school tomorrow or maybe ever again.
Yes, it is so bad. I have to think, I have to get outside of myself and be okay, how are you going to handle this? It's am I going to just let it die down and then come back and talk about it? And is it serious enough to talk about it, or am I just going to address it on site? So sometimes when I address things on site, it's not the best.
How do you address things on site?
It depends on my level of anger.
What was the last thing you had to address on site?
I could be passive aggressive. So, kind of have this situationship back and forth with this guy, and he has a problem with keeping his word. So like you guys are supposed to hang out Friday at 7 and Friday at 6, he's, I got to do this thing. Right. Or more so like, definitely. And then when it's time to get like plan and line up to do it, it's like you're out of space. You're not into actually coordinating the said event.
Right.
So I was just like, okay, I'm going to see what you do. I'm not going to continue to be like, oh, so what are we doing? Like, is this going to happen? So I just let the time pass. And then it was just kind of like, I waited to New Year's and I said, at least you're consistent. Happy New Year. So, of course, I didn't get a response. But it was like, I just want you to know that I recognize that you're trash. And so now that we've all decided that you're trash, you don't have to respond. But I just wanted you to know that you said this thing and this meetup did not happen. So now
I need you to know that I know.
Yeah, at least you're consistent. You're consistently inconsistent. And I can't count on you, so I'm not taking you into 2019. I hate to be the meme girl with my bags and when I'm leaving behind in 2018, but that shit is real. It's like, how much more energy am I supposed to give?
How long were you guys talking?
I met him in 2016. And I met him out of town. And he doesn't live here, of course, because that's the way.
You're a long distance dater.
Yeah, I love to meet people who don't live here. Those are my favorites. Accidentally. I would prefer to meet someone who lives here, but it just doesn't happen. So, we just kind of have like a weird situationship. And
where does he live, did you say?
He lives in Atlanta. He has a lot of things going on. And I could go down a rabbit hole with it, and I could kind of understand when you have all types of personal drama. But the thing is, don't initiate. That's why I feel like sometimes guys just talk to hear themselves talk. You're like, I didn't ask you for this situation. So don't be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? We're going to see each other over the holiday. And then...
So he was the one initiating and planning, but not following through.
Right. So it's like, I was like, cool, let's talk at the end of the week. We could coordinate. I'm like, all right, let me follow up. I'm like, all right, I'm going to be in the area. I'm coming home, whatever, this time. And then it was just kind of like, well, what has changed in the last week? Because in the last week, the conversation was different. And now fast forward, it's like pulling teeth to get you to say a date, a time. So I was just like, this is my last question. We're going to let this time pass. Because you're a grown-ass man. You know where I am. You have my contact information. If you want to see me, dial my number. Beat me 911.
But what are his reasons? So when he's last minute, like, hey, sorry, I'm not going to be able to come, or I can't do that. What does he say? I can't do that because blank. I'm at work. I have to do X, Y, Z. Somebody died because that's why I'm canceling 2 minutes before. Like, what are the things?
This last situation, I don't know. I didn't even entertain to find out what happened. There was another situation, and people might be mad. Better pissed off than pissed on, but I'm going to say this. There was another situation where I was going down and I was like, oh, I'm coming to your city. Would you like to occupy the same space? Because I have problems saying things. So that's how I talk. So
wait, you said, would you like to occupy the same space? What does that even mean? Is that, can I stay with you?
Yes, that is my way. As you can see, I have a lot of work to do.
Yo, next time I ask you to come on this podcast, would you like to occupy the same table around a computer and 2 mics?
Yes, I would. As a matter of fact, I would. I would like to do that because that's fun. Yeah, I'm like, but I guess he knows my oddness. And he was like, yeah, I was supposed to stay at his house. And then the day I'm getting at home, getting ready to get on my flight to go down. And I was going down for another event. And it just happened. I was like, oh,
So this wasn't specifically to see him.
Right. It was specifically to see him, but I was going. I was like, oh, remember when you were here and you heard us talking about I'm coming down for the event. And, I was like, oh, maybe I could stay with him. And then we could just get some time in that time.
Right.
The day I'm packing my belongings to get on my flight to go. So, yeah, my baby mama's still here. And
at his house?
At his house.
Staying there?
Staying there. And
does she live there? Or
no, she doesn't live there.
Why was she staying there?
Because she's very aggressive.
Where does she live?
She lives in Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
She was not, the baby was still internal at the time.
Inside of her?
Inside of her. So he said, he was like, she was supposed to leave this morning. And then I got ready to take her to the airport and she was like, she changed her flight.
Okay, pause. Sorry. I wasn't listening to anything after. So the baby's still internal. I love your language, by the way. Not pregnant, but the baby's still internal. It's not an external baby, it's an internal baby. Okay. So how far along was she with this internal baby?
It turned out to be an April Fool's baby. But
wait, she wasn't really pregnant?
No, she was, but the baby was born on April Fool's.
Oh, okay. That could have gone either way.
Yeah, it could have gone either way. But yeah, I call her Joanne. I to this day I don't know her name. We would never speak her name. When I refer to her, he refers to her as the mother of my child, and I refer to her as Joanne, as in the scammer.
Okay.
So I have no idea what this human's name is, but yeah. So he was like, yeah, she changed her.
Wait, but how far along was she?
Well, this was December, so the baby was born in April. That's 4 months minus. So she was roughly 5 months.
Okay. Now, she's 5 months pregnant. She's staying at his house.
Yes. But she decided she wasn't ready to. She came so they could talk. She flew there so they could talk.
There was more than talking going on.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Okay, so you were, okay.
Yeah, I know. It's so, this could get so deep.
So, did that upset you?
It didn't upset me. I was just like, okay. Because he said that, she changed her flight so she could stay because she said she wanted to spend more time together, right? So I said, okay, don't worry about it. Because I just decided, sometimes you have to decide you're not going to take on certain energies. I was like, ain't no problem. So I just stayed at the hotel with my line sister. Mm-hmm. Fast forward, the next day, I'm heading out to go tailgate. I get a phone call and he's like, blah, 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 my dick and my balls. And I was just like, did you take care of Joe? And he was like, he took her to the airport. I said, did you watch and make sure she got on the plane? He didn't find that funny. But I was amused because I'm like, apparently, you all are in two different relationships.
Does she think they're still together?
At the time, now fast forward, he told me that he told her that they were not. But him and I are not. So at this point, it's just kind of like, you do what you do. Because also,
I'm not saying he owes you anything.
He owes me nothing.
But I am just saying, for honesty's sake, and
right.
So I know what I'm getting into if I choose to move forward. Did Joanne know that they were broken up? You know what I mean? Or did she know?
Well, no, because listen to his homeboy.
Wait, she didn't know. So she thought she was still in a relationship with her internal baby's father.
He was entertaining her in her mental. But this is the thing. This is what I said. I feel like.
Okay, pause again. You know what men say sometimes that I just do not trust?
What?
They'll automatically. So tell me about your ex. What happened? Why did you guys break up? Oh, she's crazy. So, she's really crazy because, to keep her from not being crazy, I have to let her believe somewhat that we're still together, but we're not, but she's crazy. So I don't want to do anything to, just make her even crazier. So,
because this is a thing, because, as I was told, the homeboy said, when the whole shit went down, the fertilization, it was like
the fertilization.
you need to do the best acting you ever done.
Were they together when she got pregnant? Or when the fertilization happened?
No, they weren't together. And I'm trying not to go too deep into it.
Okay. I'm caught up in the story.
I know. And I could very well tell you the story.
Can we just tell the story?
Yeah, I could tell you the story.
Okay, let's start there before the internal baby was formed.
So the way I understand,
because you already knew him at this point.
Yes, I knew him at this point, but again, it's the situationship, back and forth. Sometimes we talk, sometimes we don't. Fall off the face of the earth, and this was a point where we had reconnected again. So I was absent for a portion of I was absent during the conception. Mm-hmm. So this is a real thing. Scammers are real. Mm-hmm. So allegedly, there are people on Earth who don't respect the gift of life, and they say they're pregnant when they are not. So you can raw dog them and really get pregnant.
Oh wait. So at the time they started having sex, she told him that she was pregnant?
They had sex. She said she was pregnant.
At the time of them having sex?
No, after the fact. She was like,
okay.
Oh, I had sex. I'm pregnant. How? I don't know, but I'm pregnant. Okay, I'm going to believe you. And then I'm going to have raw sex with you, but you weren't really pregnant, and now you're really pregnant.
Oh, I see. So the first time she lied and said, I'm pregnant after they've had sex.
Yeah.
And then she wasn't really pregnant, but he's believing, well, you're already pregnant. Mm-hmm. So
might as well.
Got it.
Shoot the club up again. It's already holes in the wall. But yeah, I can't make this shit up. And I might have to fight in the street after telling this. But square up, nigga. That's what happens when you're trash. You're trash. But anyway, yeah. So in between that, so the whole was like the franticness of this unexpected with a person that you're not necessarily in a relationship with.
Right.
It turns into a thing. And then, when you like someone, sometimes you get emotionally invested in their bullshit. Mm-hmm. And I found myself in that place, and it was just kind of like, yo, I think I need to step back. Like, I'm taking this shit on.
What were you taking on?
It was just like, talk, like realizing that nothing was done to me. We aren't together. We aren't a couple. So that's something that happened. And if I'm going to continue to have dealings with you, then I can't act like you had a baby on me. You cheated. Like, it was no cheating on me, you know? So I was trying to make a decision, at request. If we're going to still be friends, then this is a part of your life. So I'm going to listen to you complain and your stories. I'm going to be an ear for you to talk to. And then it just got to the point like, what the fuck? And I found myself, because I'm not sure, and listen, I ain't knocking anybody. Somebody married my mama when she had me. Mm-hmm. My mama's husband was not my father. But personally, as a woman, because I know some people don't like the word female, but female, I have not decided how I feel about a pre-made family. So that was a thing.
That pre-made.
Yeah.
Like there's pre-made as in like you have kids.
Right.
But like they're done cooking.
Right. Like I can see them. They're physical. I met you. It existed.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, look, you and mini you.
Yeah.
And you're saying.
But how did you feel about it? Like when you first found out, was there a thought in your mind where it's like, maybe I should go? Maybe this should be it. Or did you think, you know what? We're not together, so.
I was pissed because that wasn't the first time that happened to me. So I was like, look at this shit again. So, and it's a teenager, my little teenage boyfriend. And, I just let things linger. And he went to a different school. He ended up coming to my school. Mm-hmm. And we had broken up. But, you still have dealings with people. And now I'm thinking about it. I was like, I have a strange thing about dating my friend's cousins. But he was one of my best friend's cousin. So it was not like a person that I would never see again in life.
Right.
And next thing I know, he's got a girl in my school pregnant.
What?
And then some kind of way I found myself invited to the baby shower, which was just so fucking weird in hindsight. When you're teenagers, like, okay, I'm going to go to the baby shower.
Were you still with him when you were at the baby shower?
No, we had broken up, but it was just kind of like, that linger, and we're in the same school and the connection. Like, we weren't that long broken up. But, I was a virgin. I wasn't having sex. So, I mean, if you found somebody busting it open for a real goon, live your best life. But then this person was pregnant by him. Fast forward. Then in my 20s, I'm at work. I get a phone call. So I was calling to let you know that I got a baby on the way.
Who was this person in your 20s?
So this is the person that I count from as when I count my 12 years.
So this was the last boyfriend.
Right. And at this point, I have moved from Greensboro to D.C. to New York. So this is how long this drags out before I really put the nail in the coffin. It was just kind of like, here we are. And it's like, oh, you moved to my city because I moved here to be away from you. So you move here, you get someone pregnant, and now you calling me on my job in the middle of the day. You can call me at night when I was about to go to bed. So like if I want to burst into tears, I got to sit at my desk like a thug, like
holding it in, like,
right.
don't water.
Right. And I'm like, is there anything else? So I'm like, okay. Then fast forward, this current one of these situationships, my best friend, we had our baby shower, and he's staying at my house for the baby shower because I like to date my friends' cousins. And we get to the baby shower. We're through the baby shower. At the end of the night, him, I, and another friend, we're eating. He gets up, goes to the bathroom, comes back to the table, and was like, I got a baby on the way.
Did that happen when you left the table?
I'm like, did you go in the bathroom? And what exactly happened? So my girlfriend's like, he lying. You joking, right? I was like, it don't matter if you're joking. Where are you sleeping tonight? He was like, on the floor. And I was like, at whose house?
Not here.
Like, what the fuck? And I literally, now mind you, this is in December, so it's damn near winter. And we finished eating. He paid the bill. You owe everyone dinner at this point.
Oh, heck yeah.
You're treating. Thank you, because you fucking ruined the night. So which means that we had dinner when I was in Atlanta.
And also, why did he break this to you in front of other people?
This is what I would like to know.
You know what I mean? Like, that's not an appropriate... I would have at least waited till we got back to the house, and then I'd been like, hey, by the way.
Exactly.
But like at dinner, like...
He couldn't, he said he couldn't hold it in anymore. I guess that was a safe space. He had a witness.
Can I get a witness?
Right. He has, it was a safe space. My homegirl left. He's like, what you want to do? I was like, I don't care. I don't care what we do at this point, because I'm sitting here trying to figure out, am I finna go to jail? And my initial thought was, what I tell you about fucking bitches raw? And that's what I said.
Because now it's also like a safety thing. Like,
yeah,
forget what actually happened in the end, but like you're being reckless in a way now.
Right. And I feel like we had this conversation and he said words and I just was like not absorbing things. And we got to the house and I took off my dress because it was like a cocktail party, baby shower. Took off my dress and...
Wait, so you let him come to the house?
I let him come to the house. I took off my dress. I put on some sweatpants, maybe like a hoodie or some shit. I put my coat on. Mm-hmm. And mind you, it was like 1:30 in the morning. And I walked out. And I was like walking the streets of Flatbush because I was so fucking heated. And
why are you walking out? It is your house.
You're right. But that's how you stay out of jail. And I was just like, so then I came back and then, but I'm not necessarily the best at talking things out, and I'm sure it was awkward, and he doesn't know me well enough to know, to have to been able to gauge what that was. Mm-hmm. And I just called my girlfriend, and I'm like, I can't believe this shit is happening here. I'm like so heated. I was like, I can't believe I'm hearing this shit again. Here's a space where it is where I have an interest in someone and we have our little thing, whatever it is not necessarily a thing. And there's a new baby. So it was just more like personal. But yeah, it was so weird. It's like, I really can't make this shit up. But yeah, I eventually went back, and then the next day it was more like, oh,
Wait, where did he sleep that night?
He slept on the couch. We ended up talking about it, before he left. Like, I took him to the airport, and, and I said, why didn't you say anything before? Or why did you feel like you need to tell me? And, people don't really have answers. And I'm like, okay, you going through whatever you going through. I'm pretty sure this is unexpected to you, but now you know where babies come from. Whatever. But, so, he told me the whole story then. But yeah, girl. So
why not end it there? Like, why not have that be the point where you're like, okay, I know you're not with me, like in a monogamous relationship, so therefore you don't owe me anything. But why not say, clearly he's got a complicated life right now, right, so I'm gonna let him deal with that and move on. Like, why keep it going at that point?
Why not say, I don't need to talk to you anymore?
Right.
And I toiled with that. And I went back and forth, and I just kind of like was there as an ear and kind of stayed in. And then one day I was just like, I don't really feel like having any more of these conversations about the drama related around that, because I'm an energy person and I'm taking that in. And so it was just kind of like a space. And then, it's almost people can feel when someone else is around and they like to pop up.
Right.
So then it was like, I'm just staying away from you. And I'm sure he could tell I was like not really feeling him, because I was just like, we good. I was like, I hope everything works out for you. That was just kind of like my message. Was like, oh, okay, I hope everything works in your favor. And that's my way of saying, you going to have to work it out, honey, because I can't help you. Mm-hmm. And this is the end of this conversation. People pop up, they call you, they come to your city, whatever. Then it's kind of like, oh my God, he's so cute. I like him. And then you lose your mind for a second, and then you kind of like reopen that door.
Prior to that happening, did you see a future with him?
At one point, I was like, yeah, like, you my speed. Like, if I can wrap this up. But then it's like, nah. And then it got to the point where it's like, something ain't right. And then the whole other situation with the tiny human, it's just like, I really was in a space where I can't say that this is for me. And I can't, and it was a conversation that was had, and I couldn't, mostly, usually be like, so what's up with us? Mm-hmm. It was one of those spaces where it was an opportunity for me to say, what's up with us? And I couldn't bring myself to say it. So it was like, I like you as a human. We could be friends. It's just one of those people that I feel like we have fun together. We'll always be friends. But I couldn't bring myself to say, so what's up with us? It was like, oh, so what's up with you and Joanne? And, he's explained himself. And I was like, oh, okay. And in that moment, I was like, oh, I should probably say now, so what's up with us? And I was just like, oh, okay. And I just let it die. And I was just like, oh. And I was like, I guess I don't care that much, because any other time or any other woman who wants to know where she stands with someone will say, right, use that opportunity to be like, so you've settled this out with this person, you've been truthful at this point now. You stop playing games, listen to your homeboys. This woman knows where she stands with you. So where do I stand with you? And I couldn't do it. I'm
glad you didn't.
Yeah. I
this needed to be over.
Yeah.
Because it seems like there was going to be nothing to come but more drama.
More drama. You meet somebody that's like hard luck Harry.
Yeah.
It was like, I was like, oh, it's like, do you always have some shit going on? Is there a period where it's like disarray? And it's also, I feel like sometimes it's like how people decide to handle like shit.
Exactly. Because some people like thrive in that and they don't know another way. Right. It's just, they don't know a life without chaos and just like, this is going on and that's going on and I got to do this and I got to do that. And it's like an adrenaline rush for them. And so it's not that there's more stuff happening to them than happens to other people. They handle it in such a way, right, where it creates like this this rush of like, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like it's like a roller coaster rush, and they just like they love it, and they don't think they love it because they act like victims when it's happening. So they'll be like, oh my God, like this, I'm just on this roller coaster and it's going up and down and I don't know what's happening. And oh my God, I can't control it. But like they're secretly sort of smiling. I think they secretly like the idea of just the motion and not sitting still and the drama, and it appeals to them. Right.
And I'm sitting there like, well, why don't you stop doing that? Oh no. Okay.
I don't know. It just keeps happening.
I don't know what.
Like life's happening to them and they have no sort of role or direction in it.
I'm like, why don't you just be honest? I don't know. Honest words. I can't. Things happen to me. It's ridiculous. It's so absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, like I've definitely had a lot of.
Why do you think that particular situation? Because I don't think there's a whole lot of coincidences in life. Like I think when things happen, they're like a direct message from the universe or something that we're attracting. Either because it's something that we want or because it's something we haven't dealt with. But there's a reason that this particular situation sort of keeps gravitating
to me,
to you.
I think I'm really supposed to be a sister wife.
Really?
I don't know. That's like, I don't know. I really don't fucking know. Like, I wish I could explain, like, is this a thing? Like, why is this? I have no idea.
Let me ask you this. You said that when your mom was pregnant with you, she married somebody who wasn't your father.
Well, she wasn't pregnant with me. She had me, and she married someone who wasn't my father. I was probably like 2, 3.
Do you feel, not to go into therapy mode, but do you feel like that has some connection or relation?
I don't know. It could. You know, some things are just innate with you, or like the lines of like what people would call generational curses or pathology. So I really can't say, and it maybe is some vibe to me that draws that, and I would like to release that out into the world, whatever crystal or sage I need to burn to like get that stepmommery off of me. Because my mom, but actually in that hindsight, like not even hindsight now, we're talking about like, yeah, my mom married a person who had 4 kids or something. So she was like stepmom, mom. And granted, they were older. These were existing children because the youngest one was 7 years older than me.
Right.
So it wasn't like, oh, I met you and this baby came along in the midst of, you know, us getting to know each other. So I don't know. And I applaud anyone who can do it. And I know it's situational. I have friends who married people who have kids, and sometimes you get a lemon baby mama, because that's everybody baby mama. Once I marry you, that's my baby mama too. And some of us get a lemon, and some of us get good, healthy, you know, a person who's moved on.
Would you actually want somebody with kids? Would you be okay with that?
I think it depends on the situation. Like I said, I think I would have to assess, like, how old is this child? Where did this child come from?
Because I think, okay, so the pregnant thing, having somebody with or dating somebody with kids, I don't think is necessarily bad, or you know.
Yeah, I don't think
it really
bad.
does depend on the situation. But I think the pregnancy part, the like this child has yet to come out, it still means things are still very fresh. You know what I'm saying? So even if they're broken up, you haven't been broken up for more than 9 months.
You know, you haven't.
So that means there's still some baggage there. That means there's still some stuff going on. And that means like you have a whole nother world of things that are about to happen that you don't even know how to deal with yet.
You don't. No, and you trying to get your footing, and you trying to figure out what all this means.
Was this his first kid?
Yeah, it was.
Have you dated anybody since then, or been on any dates since then?
You know, I just straddled the fence. You know, I've been on dates in the midst of that, and oh boy, I'm gonna say it's me. I'm gonna just go ahead and probably say it's me.
Why do you think it's you?
You know what? Sometimes I feel like I am the person. Like, I'm fun. I kind of have like a homeboy, homegirl element to me. And I just feel like sometimes it's be like intrigued, like, oh, she fun, but they don't necessarily be wanting to like seal the deal.
You friend zone yourself?
Yeah, I think sometimes I could maybe friend zone myself. Yeah, that might be it. Sometimes I do that on purpose. Sometimes I want to stay the friend zone.
I don't want anything more with you.
Right. Sometimes that's good. And I feel like there's a level of infatuation, but not a level of I'm going to go on ahead and make this happen or make this a thing. And then also, I'm not necessarily a type of person who, how can I say this? I don't know. I feel like there's like a culture and a breed of women who are a lot more open or a lot more direct and a lot more like, and I've heard guys say like, you know, and actually my brother told me like, you know, most women are like, well, what we doing? Like they try to plan your life and they're like, well, what we doing this weekend? We gonna la la la. And you be like, all right, whatever. Mm-hmm. And he's like, you got a lot of, all right, whatever. I'm cool either way. Mm-hmm. And he was like, guys want to feel needed too. And I'm like, okay. And I think I just, you know, had to go with the flow spirit or that it's cool, whatever. Like,
so you're saying you don't necessarily put out an energy of, I want you or I need you. You're just kind of like, it's cool if you're here. It's cool if you're not. And because of that energy, they're not necessarily sure how to read it. So they're not pursuing because they're like, I don't really know. So then you end up in the friend zone.
Yeah, I think that's a theory. That's a theory we can go along with.
Is that what you actually want though?
Sometimes I'm good with that. But honestly, I don't feel like I have met a person where I felt like it's worth changing that energy, I guess I should say. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I'm definitely a vibes person. So if I'm not getting that vibe from you, and I know sometimes it takes a while to grow, but that's why I'm more, if I meet somebody on the street, it's random, nobody knows who they are. They're just this creature that's off the street. It's like, okay, stranger danger. It's like, it's going to take me a little while longer to warm up. I feel like I thrive better as like, oh, this is a human that people I know, or we've been in the same space, we've hung out, I've seen you.
That's why you keep dating your cousins' friends.
Yeah, I did.
Or your cousins'
yeah, my cousins. That's
your
why you
friends'
date my cousins.
Yeah. Oh, not your friends' cousins, not your cousins.
Right. That's why you date my cousins. But yeah, because I think I like to see people in an element where they're just being fun themselves and not like, I'm trying to talk to you, so I'm gonna act like this.
Have you ever been on dating apps or have you ever done any apps?
I hate dating apps.
Why?
Because I feel like all the crazies are out there. I've definitely tried dating apps, and because I think of how I am, I might not have given them the time and the thing that they need, but I feel like it's a lot of people trying to hook up. It's a lot of people who not necessarily like, I want you. The guys are like, I want you to chase me. It could very well be the type of guy I'm attracted to. I just might need to change. I need to look inside
There's
myself.
all sorts of people on dating apps. There's not.
You know what I need? I need a friend or someone to go in on my behalf who has the patience for it. I've definitely tried that.
Are you on any apps now?
No, I have not been. And I had my girlfriend, Crystal. She was like, I want you to get on, I don't know, something. Maybe I got back on Tinder or something. I can't remember what it was. And I was like, I'm not doing it. I feel like I was on there like a week. I was like, nope, I'm good. I'm not doing this. Like, I think I just have to, I don't know. You're
limiting your pool significantly by not.
I know. I knew you were going to say
You're
that.
limiting your pool to your friends' cousins.
I am. I love cousins. If you have a cousin out there and he clears 5'9", 5'10".
Are you a height queen?
I'm trying not to be a height queen.
So you like cousins over 5'9"?
Actually, I am the girl who is not 5'9", who likes the 6 foot tall guy.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'4".
Okay.
But it's just, you know, what you're used to when you're growing up, and I just try to like change that. So, and my friend was like, "You think everybody's your height? Nobody's your height." And I'm like, "He's my height." And I was like, "This one
particular
guy,
he's 6'2". He's
like,
my height.
Like, but I think I like the hover. I like the hover. But everybody's not blessed with the gift of
height.
Yeah, the height.
So, what do you want out of a guy, Essence?
What do I want out of a guy?
Yeah.
I want him to be able to cut the check.
Cut the check.
Cut the check. I've been listening to a lot of City Girls and Trina, so I've just been thinking about being a scammer. What do I want?
All right, Joanne.
Yeah, though I'm very independent, there are things that I saw growing up, and my biggest thing is, I'm going to say security. Mm-hmm. Like, where's your mindset on? I try to look at where your mindset is on your level of success, where your future, how you manage money, because I feel like not necessarily my mother might not have made the best choices in picking that. And I've just seen the difference in, how I was raised opposed to maybe like my cousins who grew up in a household that was managed differently with a different type of man. So thinking of outside of me, but if I'm going to be with someone and I'm going to have children with someone, I want a particular type of person that I feel like is going to help me give these people that we've created the best advantage.
Right. And
if you don't have a business mindset, you don't know how to manage your money, you have a closed mindset, you've never been outside New York, it's and also, of course, the older I get and the more things I experience, it's just kind of like, oh, I'm not necessarily in the mind frame where I feel like I want to have to groom someone.
Right.
And I know that there are parts of relationships where you have to groom each other. You're always growing. You're always expanding. But it's like, damn, I don't want to have to pick up where your mama left off when you was 12.
And you shouldn't have to.
Right. So it's just, that's a big thing for me. Like, do I feel like I can trust you and secure? And I know people hate Steve Harvey, but that is one. He said, provide, protect, and profess. Like, yeah, like, can you provide and protect? Like, forget the profess part. Like, can you provide? And now I can make my own money. Like, I can feed myself. That's why I would go on those dates just to get free meals. I could feed myself. I don't need you to feed me. But if we're gonna, because I think people romanticize and like put a lot of fantasy in their imagination behind marriage. A lot of marriage is business.
They talk about the wedding more than like the workings of the marriage.
Right. And it's like, you are connected to this person emotionally, spiritually, financially. If you have children, even if you part ways, those are still your children together. Yep. And it's like, where are you emotionally? What kind of, you got mama issues? Like, what's going on? Because, and even if you do, fine, but are you able to recognize it? Or are you floating around and you have no idea that you batshit crazy? Because I've done enough therapy to recognize all my crazy. And I could be like, you're acting crazy.
You're crazy. You haven't done therapy, so you don't know that yet, but I know.
Right. It's like you're acting crazy, girl, and we're going to pinpoint this back to your feelings about this, and then we're going to put a little bow on it, and we're going to tuck it away because we're not going to let that crazy out.
So it seems like you know exactly what you want. You're like, I need somebody who, can lead a family, to sum it all up. But then, when you meet guys, it doesn't seem like you express that. It seems like you're just like, cool, whatever.
But here's the thing. I have a type that's not necessarily visual, right? Aesthetics. It's not like I'm dating like the same guy with the same face. He's the same height. Most of the people that I am attracted to and that I would give entertain mostly, they are the smart, successful, but then there's always seen as like they on the spectrum or there's always some other crazy element. I'm just looking for a good hybrid of, it's like, can you manage your crazy? We all got a little crazy.
Right.
We know nobody's perfect, but it's like something not right and I can't put my finger on it. And it's like, I don't know if you off, but I see you off. I know I'm off. I recognize that. But I need us both to know.
We're all a little off.
Yeah, I need us both to know. And I need you to also be about your money, be about your business, be fun. And I still need to be attracted to you. Like, I haven't hit that level. You know, some people are like, it don't matter if he ugly. We all ugly to somebody, but you don't need to be ugly to me, because when you get on my nerves, I tend to be like, but that's my boo. He's so cute. Look at him. Like, oh, like he dumb as a box of rocks, but I love it. Like, you know, so like my grandma said, her mom told her, if you find a man with some sense, bring him to me. So and my grandma said, you just need to pick your fool and go ahead. So I'm like, damn. But ever since she said that, as years go by, I'd be like, oh, I see what she's saying. So, you know, it's always going to be something with someone. I just might have to reassess and just decide, like, okay, where am I right now? If I'm at a point where I feel like I want to be in a serious relationship, I'm definitely going to have to change my energy. And at least I feel like I'm aware of that. I've kind of been floating and kind of having fun, because I'm like, I don't feel like being bothered. I kind of feel like being bothered. Well, I want to be bothered right now, but I don't want to be bothered later. Mm-hmm. And, you know, like I said, the convenience of it is like, oh, I would like somebody to go on vacation with, but when we come back, we don't need to talk. But that's not how relationships. I'm like, oh, I'm going this thing. It'd be cute if I had somebody go with me. But then when it's over, it's like your services are no longer needed.
But that's, I mean, if in the end, that's what you want, that's perfectly fine.
That is
like
perfectly.
I don't think like, well, you are a woman of a certain age, you have to have a relationship and you have to be on. No, but I'm just saying, if your end goal is, you know, I want to be with somebody exclusively, then what you're doing in the present has to match up. But if you're like, I actually don't want to, I just want to go on vacation with somebody, then do me, and then do what you do.
Yeah, that's how I feel like I am right now. The end goal at some point, that's the thing. You know, they give us beef when you over 35 or you over 30. I would say over 30. But that whole say yes to the dress fantasy part, that died. That died back in, you know, 2013. But, you know, it's so, in my mind, it's way more to it. What can you do? It's do you. I mean, it's do you. I know, of course, I don't want to be 50 and be like, oh, I'm like, I need to find a date. But like right now, I feel like I'm okay, because there are other elements of myself that I'm working on and trying to figure out.
We are going to stop there for today, but please tune in next week for part 2 with Essence. She's going to be sharing some hilarious dating stories. I promise you, she's one of the most hilarious people that I've ever had on this show. So please come back for part 2 next week. In the meantime, you can reach her at One Black Star on Instagram. And please reach out to me and let me know what you think of today's show at Tanisha Wood on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And until next time, wish me love. Hello again, my lovely listeners. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of DRL. If you like the show, be sure to go on iTunes and leave a rating and also write a review. And don't forget to share with your friends and tell them all about DRL. Thank you so much for supporting.